There is no such thing as work-life balance in your homeschool. If you've been told to find this balance, you've been told a lie. Here's the thing. Work is part of life. If you hold the perspective that work needs to get over with so you can get on with your life, then you are going to have some pretty miserable homeschooling days. Real life includes all four aspects of work, play, rest, and sleep. You need to find balance between all four of these aspects to have a healthy and sustainable life. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can embrace all four of these aspects of life so that your child can enjoy a love of lifelong learning. Hi, I'm Natalie, and as a certified teacher turned homeschooling mom myself, I'm on a mission to empower homeschooling moms to develop initiative in their children through teaching critical thinking skills. If you are a homeschool mom looking for tools and frameworks so that your child can love learning, then make sure you subscribe. In this video, I am going to unpack all four aspects of life: work, play, sleep, and rest, so that you can find a sustainable life balance. Let's start with work and play. The really interesting thing about work here is that it's actually really subjective. Some parts of homeschool are seen as work and other parts of homeschool are seen as play. In fact, some parts of homeschool may be seen by one child in your family as work, but seen as another child as play. For example, let's say you have both an extroverted and introverted child, both signed up for the same 90-minute gymnastics class. You might find that your extroverted child comes home feeling energized and sees this as an opportunity to play, versus your introverted child is totally drained because they just spent 90 minutes working. It can be the same thing with reading, nature walks, cooking, or even watching documentaries. Here's where balance comes in here. We can only tolerate so much work in a given day or maybe in a given week. It's not healthy to exceed that. And if you do, you might start to wear yourself out. You may deplete nutrient stores and even start to resent the work that you do as you approach burnout. For myself, for example, I can work on my homeschool business for up to 25 hours a week, with 20 being a lot more optimal. Combined with that, I can work on homeschooling aspects up to 15 hours a week, and I have home management looking at up to 7 hours a week. Plus, I have other aspects of work too. But for my children, their amount of time is a lot more limited. For example, my 7-year-old son does really well with a max of 15 hours of homeschool work per week. So we divide this up. It looks kind of like 3 hours per day, 5 days a week. For him, aspects like art are considered work, but aspects like PE is considered play. Comparing this with my 9-year-old daughter, she can actually handle up to 20 hours of work per week, looking more like 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. But for her, art is seen as play, whereas homeschool PE is actually seen as part of work. If I try to stretch my children to work longer than what is optimal for them, then I start to see them fade and fade very quickly. This is when they start to get upset, resist what they're doing, and give that lackluster effort and attitude. When we stay inside of their optimal amount of work time, they can give their best in that moment, knowing that they're going to have balance in other aspects of their life to balance out the energy that they're giving. So now for you, what is it that you consider to be work, and what do you consider to be play? What do you think about things like gardening, cooking, shopping, or homeschooling? What aspects of paid work do you have in your life, and what aspects of volunteer work? And then I want you to think about what playful aspects you enjoy. Things like family game night, reading a book, going for a hike, playing with your animals. And how much time are you allocating towards that each day? For myself, for example, I know that I need to allocate about 1 hour of purposeful play every day if I want to thrive. Before we move on to rest and sleep here in a moment, I do want to drive home the big idea that work is not opposite of life. Work is opposite of play, and both work and play are important aspects of a balanced life. The two other aspects are rest and sleep. And yes, they are both different. If you are falling asleep while you are resting, then it means that you need more sleep. For a balanced, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle that you can model for your children, make sure it includes your optimal amount of sleep and rest. This not only includes however many hours of sleep are most optimal for you based on whatever season you're in, it also includes what time you go to bed and what time you wake up. And naps count here too. Naps count for your daily target of sleep. And based on when you nap and for how long, this can affect the quality of nighttime sleep that you have. Rest here is different, though it is linked with sleep. You'll find that with regular rest periods, you'll actually find your sleep quality improve. A few considerations around rest include where you are resting. So for example, I do not rest in my office. Whether music is helpful for you, and even what colors are in the room around you. Resting is essentially about giving your brain a break so that it can run its cleaning cycle. So personally, I like to Control X on my brain keyboard and just think about nothing for a little while or focus on my breathing. Now notice that even just 1 minute of this is super challenging. So give yourself plenty of grace as you work up to resting for longer periods of time. When you get to that optimal amount of time for you each day, you will find that this is so re-energizing. This is even as important for your children as it is for you, and you can help them see the value in it by having family resting periods. Rest and sleep are important aspects for recharging your batteries so that you can give your full potential to the work that you do. The whole point of balancing these 4 aspects of work, play, rest, and sleep is so that you and your children can live your lives to your fullest potential. You deserve to live your life as the best version of yourself. When you embrace all 4 of these aspects, you will reinvigorate a love of life and a love of lifelong learning, which is a major goal of homeschooling. If you are sick of pushing through miserable homeschooling days and you want to see that love of learning reinvigorated in your homeschooler, then you may want to check out my free guide, The Ultimate Guide to Teaching Your Homeschooler Critical Thinking. This is the guide that you need to help your child unlock self-awareness, responsibility, and initiative for their learning and for their life in 5 simple steps. You can download your free copy at homeschoolteachingsimplified.com/ultimate-guide, and I will be sure to leave that link in the description box as well. Now, when it comes to creating more playful learning opportunities for your homeschooler, you may want to check out this video next all around experiential learning.